Smriti is the name of the newest student. The director introduces her to the class. He doesn't have to tell them her story. Every child in this room has experienced something similar. A few weeks ago, Smriti's father hung himself because he could no longer meet the cost of feeding his family. 2 years ago, Jagdish's father committed suicide for the same reason. He did it by swallowing pesticides. The school director keeps a list of similar farmer suicides in the region. Almost every day a farmer kills himself, sometimes more than one. The director establishes contact with the widow and offers to take on her children.
Output is very low and input is more. This balance is not for the last 10 years. The output is going more and more. Output is minimum.
So you see more and more suicides happening? Is it increasing?
Yes. Every year it is increasing.
300 children are registered at this school, which is financed by donations. The concept is a private initiative started by the director, who himself grew up in a poor farmer's family. He knows what these children have been through. For example, young Bajyashree, whose father killed himself a year ago. Afterwards, my mother ran away. Luckily, they had room for me here. Jagdish is luckier. Instead of running away, his mother moved to the school with him. She got a job in the kitchen. At least she no longer suffers from hunger, which was the case shortly before her husband took his life. We harvested next to nothing, but the creditors wanted their money back. Then my husband killed himself. Sometimes she takes Jagdish to visit the village they came from, near the central Indian city of Aurangabad. There, relatives are taking care of her second son. He is not ready to go to school. He suffers from repeated hallucinations, in which he sees the ghost of his father. Whatever happens, Jagdish and his brother will not grow up to be farmers. First of all, we do not have land anymore, and secondly, they should not have the same job that drove my husband to suicide. In the small village, everyone has a relative who has committed suicide, and nearly everyone suffers under financial hardships. Following a harvest failure, these farmers were left with only a few goats. This man's wife desperately needs a doctor. She just returned from a hospital who turned her away because she was not able to pay for her treatments. We are still paying back the credit we used to pay for the seeds 7 years ago, but we have no harvest as it hasn't rained. On a neighbouring field, 2 farmers are ploughing their acreage. Most people here are indebted, often owing money to private moneylenders. Although the government announced a partial debt annulment, this only applies to bank credits. And there are no job alternatives. Every second Indian works in agriculture. But over the years, the economic landscape has shifted. Experts say that India has not effectively made the structural change.
It is expected that the workforce shifts from agriculture to manufacturing. The lowly skilled manufacturing, which is something on which India should have focused, was something which was not supported.
The farmers' discontent has been growing. Here, they are demonstrating in the capital, Delhi, demanding that grain prices be doubled. The state is the biggest consumer. One of the groups protesting are school children. They are also in a special institute for children of suicide farmers. Their attendance is meant to shake people up so that society no longer just accepts the fact that more than 10,000 fathers kill themselves each year.
I would like to, if government help this project, but from instead of government, I expect from society also, because it is the problem of society.
At the moment, the only response are individual initiatives like this school. They make it possible for children like Jagdish, Smriti and the others to get what their fathers lacked, a life without hunger, and the chance to have a happy future.